Last one for me. I apologize. This is the last one. I know we're just getting in the groove here. Did you listen to Kanye West's new record?
Yeah.
Talking about Jesus is King is Kanye West's new record. And you probably didn't know this, but it is his 9th consecutive #1 debut on Billboard 200 chart.
Really?
9th consecutive, which is record tying. I believe he ties... Who does he tie? Eminem? Yeah. Matching Eminem's still active streak for longest in the chart's history. For debuting, it's really crazy when you read through this because this has become super complicated how they evaluate success now on Billboard charts. Obviously, people aren't buying physical CDs, so they have to figure out some form of reporting, merging together song purchases, streams, plays, Nielsen, Spotify. Wow. It's a whole project. And then they come up with a number called equivalent album units, which is a post-calculation naming for adding up all these various factors because they have to reference it against their long-standing history of the Billboard chart, which is actual album sales. Right. I'm talking to Beatles and Elvis Presley, Willie.
The vinyls.
They're selling records.
Yeah.
It's the only way you could get it. And then I wonder, because Billboard, did they take into account radio plays? Because that's kind of what streaming is like. So what would Elvis have been if you included radio? I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they tried to account for it.
Torrents?
Torrents. Imagine Nielsen on there analyzing torrents. I don't think they take that because that's not a sale. There's no transaction.
That's true, yeah.
Whereas a stream, there is a transaction of some amount, portion of a penny or whatever it is. Jesus is King was released on October 25th. It earned 264,000 equivalent album units in the U.S. in the week ending October 31st. Of that sum, 109,000 were album sales, while the rest was powered by streaming activity. 109,000 unit album sales. Where are people buying this album on iTunes? That seems odd to me. I don't know. Maybe humans are. Let me know in the comments. Are you buying albums on iTunes? Are you buying albums in general, anywhere, from anywhere? Maybe people are looking towards vinyls. Maybe there's a resurgence of physical ownership. I doubt that. Something tells me there's more to this particular aspect of this analysis. So Jesus is King's total unit start of 264,000. It includes 196.9 million on-demand audio streams for the album's 11 tracks. So that's a lot easier for us in the YouTube realm to analyze because we can understand a stream sort of like a view. And so the translation of that overall figure, it includes 197 million audio streams. That's a lot of listening.
Yeah.
Is that impressive to you, Will, on 11 tracks or not?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Right, it should be. It's hard to figure that out because that's how many plays per track. Like how many listeners in total of the record if everyone listened to 11 tracks? Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
What is it, 10 million? 20 million, obviously.
Yeah, around 20 million.
Around 20 million listeners. But then again, it's probably not evenly distributed because you have certain tracks people are going to like more. You also have replays. That's interesting. That's not a thing you do as much with YouTube videos. If we were trying to relate this to views, is you would rarely listen to or watch a YouTube video more than once. At least not a video like this. Mm-hmm. Whereas with music, you frequently will replay something if you like it. Mm-hmm. You have listened to the record more than once, in fact. Mm-hmm. So what were you looking for in there the second time around?
I mean, yeah, I would listen to the whole album, not just a specific track. Probably 10 times, maybe 15.
All right, well, a little trivia for you. Which artist has the most debuts at #1 on the Billboard 200 with 14? It's not an ongoing streak that exists right now.
Was it a recent artist?
The artist is still sort of active.
Ariana.
Jay-Z,
Oh,
another hip hop artist. Ariana is actually up there though. Let's see here. With a ninth number one on the Billboard 200, West ties 5 other acts for the 6th most number ones in the history of the chart, which dates back to 1956. He now stands alongside Garth Brooks, Drake, Eminem, Madonna, and the Rolling Stones. Ahead of all of them, the Beatles, with a record 19 number ones. Jay-Z has 14. Bruce Springsteen and Barbara Streisand have 11, and Elvis has 10. How about those Beatles?
they're still big.
They were early on that bug protein.
Yeah.
I told you it was something there, man. Maybe that's what the company should be called. Beetlejuice. Did you ever watch Beetlejuice as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a crazy movie, man. The type of movies they would give kids back then, totally different than nowadays. Anyhow, what's interesting about this article to me is just the way in which they analyze and combine unit sales and streams to try to come to this comparative. And it's not perfect. So it's so weird to have these comparisons to the Beatles and so forth because it can't really be one-to-one. There was no streaming. Music has changed so much in such a short period of time. But I will say, in Kanye's case, this is such a departure from what he's done in the past. Not from necessarily a musical perspective, but a subject matter. Obviously, the title of the record is Jesus is King. So you kind of wondered what the response to that was going to be from a pop cultural perspective, from a I guess a streaming success perspective, a Billboard perspective. That would be an indicator, I suppose. And it appears people are into it, or they're at least listening to it. So there's some futuristic music news for you. Kanye West, Jesus is King, Spotify combined with some 110,000 people who bought the actual album. I'm looking for those people. I want to know who they are. Willie Doo doesn't want me to forget the merch either. We got some wild merch associated with the record also. So you can go check that out. You can check that out if you want to go a level deeper.